Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're taking the absolute ultimate test drive of a tool that is completely shaking up the digital design world. We're talking about the massive new updates to Claude Design. You know, if you've ever felt completely bogged down trying to move a brilliant idea from your head into a functional UI on screen, well, you are definitely in the right place.
And that brings us straight to the giant elephant in the room. Can AI actually replace traditional industry-standard UI software like Figma? For years now, AI has been great at generating pretty pictures, right? But it really struggled to build cohesive, functional environments. Well, today, we're putting Claude Design to the test to see if it has finally crossed that threshold.
Okay, let's jump right in and take a look at the all-new Claude Design.
So, in the old experience, Claude Design had its own super strict usage limits. You'd be, halfway through designing a killer prototype, and suddenly, bam, you're totally out of credits. It caused some major quota anxiety. But with this new update, it uses shared quotas. That means worry-free designing. You can just iterate endlessly without constantly staring at a countdown clock. It's a total game changer.
And what's actually under the hood doing all this generating? Well, this update is powered by the Opus 4.8 model. Its front-end coding capabilities are just a massive leap forward. Because look, this isn't just about making things look good anymore. It's about the flawless, precise execution of complex, custom design systems.
Which brings us to the absolute core of this entire update, design systems.
Let's make sure we're on exactly the same page here. What is a design system in this context? It's a set of reusable brand rules. We're talking about your exact color palettes, your specific typography, your layout patterns. It is not just a specific app page. It is literally the underlying DNA of your product. By establishing this right up front, you aren't just getting random disconnected AI images, you're creating a strict rulebook for the AI to follow.
And the power of setting up this rulebook? It's honestly incredible. You can actually pull in existing code straight from your GitHub sync, import your own custom fonts, and drop in your company's specific logos to lock in those brand rules. Then, once the base is generated, you just chat with the AI. You give it feedback to tweak tiny little elements until that DNA is absolutely perfect. You create it once and apply it everywhere.
All right, enough theory. Let's get into a real UI prototype generation test. To construct an Apple Music-style system, you first just type out what you want in plain English, like demanding a very specific magenta and pink theme. Next, you just let Opus 4.8 generate that base system. But here is where the precision really shines. Instead of just accepting some generic white logo the AI spit out, the designer uploaded a reference image of an eighth note and simply told Claude, hey, swap this out. And just like that, the AI seamlessly updated the entire system. So, with our DNA fully locked in, it was time to actually build the app. And look at how brilliantly simple the prompt was to trigger a fully interactive prototype. Just develop a music player for macOS. That's it. Because the AI already had that comprehensive design system saved and selected, it didn't need some massive 5-paragraph essay explaining the colors or fonts. It already knew the rules. And the results? Frankly, they're staggering. Opus 4.8 built a rich, multi-page, interactive prototype that features a flawless toggle between light and dark modes. I mean, it had working navigation, functional playlists, play queue control, and across every single component on every page, that custom musical note logo was perfectly retained.
But okay, you might be wondering, what happens if we just skip the whole system part? Let's compare building with versus without a system. When you run that exact same prompt without establishing a design system first, the difference is literally night and day. The AI still generated something clean, sure, but the brand uniformity was totally generic. Instead of your specific custom assets, it just hallucinated these random AI placeholders. And the theming? Super basic. Honestly, a design system is the dividing line between a disposable, generic AI picture and a professional, cohesive product.
But hey, App UI isn't the only thing this tool can handle. Let's look at some stunning presentation creation. Just like with the app, step one is building that rulebook. But this time, we're going for a high-end, futuristic, sci-fi presentation design system. The rules established here dictated modern UI practices, strict futuristic color palettes, and exactly how visual elements and text cards should behave and look across an entire slide deck. Once that futuristic DNA is locked in, check out how ridiculously simple this prompt is. Read this Hugging Face link and generate a 10-page Chinese PPT introducing the model. Think about what's happening here. The AI was asked to go out, ingest a dense, complex technical web page about an open-source AI model, synthesize all that information, and format it into a presentation using our specific sci-fi design rules. And wow, did it deliver! The AI instantly structured 10 complete presentation pages. But what's truly impressive is how perfectly it applied the sci-fi design system to real-world technical data. The visual cards representing features were completely consistent across every single slide. When it needed to display complex model parameters, it dynamically used large, bold fonts to make that data pop, perfectly balancing the text colors against those dark, futuristic backgrounds. It unified content and style effortlessly.
All right, so based on everything we've just gone through, is Claude Design genuinely ready to replace something like Figma?
Well, the answer relies almost entirely on that number right there, 4.8. Opus 4.8 is the absolute powerhouse making this level of front-end generation possible, because it can finally handle the heavy lifting of code generation while strictly adhering to your creative DNA. It genuinely offers a real alternative for rapid prototyping. And now that quote anxiety isn't holding you back anymore, your ability to experiment is virtually limitless.
So, I want to leave you all with a final thought to chew on. Now that the technical barriers of those quota limits are totally gone and the front-end capabilities finally allow for strict, cohesive brand consistency, how is this going to change your workflow? If you no longer have to manually build every single button and slider from scratch, where are you going to direct all that extra creative energy? It is a fascinating paradigm shift in how we build digital products. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this deep dive sparks some awesome new ideas for your own projects.